him skin dirty, especially when you see far from them. When you see far from a black man who tattoo up his skin, it look like him skin dirty. White people, tattoo fit white people. Yeah, because the art where them a try project on them skin come out on the white, on them skin more because it not have the same color as the ink. Them not have white tattoo. Where you just, maybe black people should have used white ink for tattoo them skin because I don't know if I'm me, but it not strike me as something that look good. I mean, everybody do it now still because it's a fashion, it's a hip thing. Lil Wayne started, then Vybz Kartel come do it, and then Vybz Kartel have everybody else do it. But it look kind of weird, you know, plus the bleach. I tell you, black people, wanna deal with. Because when you see a youth look so and I come down the street, him tattoo and him bleach, him have on winter clothes, what the hell is happening? Why black people follow? And we was creators, we used to create things. We never did all that follow, we did not create. But now we lose the creativity now because we get caught in the Americanization of culture and the eating habits of America and even the sexual habits of America. Because when we hear when I call themselves, I know it's unbelievable, dog and all them something. Black people call themselves dog. I mean, really now. A man I refer to him as me dog. Them things sound weird. That we as African people who use so, I mean, I could never go far as Africa. I could see a Jamaica or so. Rasta come on and I call the woman them Empress. And me queen. When everybody did I call them chick. Everybody used to call woman chick. And meat. And meat. And beef. What me beef? And Rasta come and switch on that and say, watch her. Put the woman, black woman, on a pedestal and call her, want me queen, want me empress, want me daughter. Some woman who don't understand where the Rasta man said daughter. You have some little so-called liberated woman where I said, look, I'm not your daughter. But it's not, when them say daughter, I'm not talking about using pit name, I talk about the daughter of Zion. Because I'm read Bible and I see it mark daughter of Zion. Say, want me daughter of Zion, want me queen, want me to empress. And I'm relate to that. No, them little child come switch it back round, you know. Them come switch it back round, you know. You hear about dog and gal and I mean, you hear some women that refer to themselves as something that you say, what wait? Oh, me empress I call myself them thing there. And you hear the man them, oh, the big man I call himself dog. I make somebody else I call him dog. You know, and like, me hear two youth attack and when I say, well, I'm a dog. And when I say no, I'm saying, no, me killer. I'm not saying dog and killer. Terrible. Black people confused. Really confused. Tune just a turn over and turn over. So every day. Them say Jamaica produce the most music per week. Like, just like how we have the most church per square mile. We produce the most music per week than any other country. Small country. We love music. Brand new. Here we go. I just hear that sister upon the program a while ago. As a matter of fact, she still sit down in the studio, yeah. Brand new tune. When we are talking about raga here, you know, I tell you, we have to watch what we are talking about, you know, because watch, you know. You have some man locks, look like it no locks, you know. Yeah, me call it twisty. When I hope a man vex with me and I tell him something, but it's true because the intention of locks was not to satisfy how many people view Rasta. Because when them they see the locks and them never know how locks come, them start to say we put cow filth in our ear and beeswax in our ear and we don't wash our ear and it just look terrible and dreadful. Those dreadlocks. So black people never know how ear come that way. Them can't understand how people ear look. So them have it off as a terrible thing. So we never come for make and for please men and people eyesight. Well, now me say Rasta I try please men and people eyesight because it turned in a fashion statement. It turned in a fashion statement to the point now where you have a whole heap of sister who don't have nothing to do with Rasta and not even them amongst no Rasta at all, where them have wig now or ear weave where them can't weave in them ear, and when you look on them locks look longer than mine, like them are locks from how long. So it become a fashion statement because now we see everybody a twisty me call it because it look pleasant that way there, it look decent. When you see the bongo, Congo, Rasta, where we come out we not please men and people. When your man say let the locks of your hair grow like a tree, it grow anyway it want to grow. So the bongo Congo is where them afraid of, you know. Yeah man, terrible and dreadful. That them afraid of. So in order to seep into the little society way and to make it not look too bad, like them go tell you to cut off your locks and all them way there. Some guy just plan for just twist it up and twist it up. So it's when them twist it up now, men and people say, oh, that's look good, beautiful. So everybody just start twist it, press back them ear now and make them fire that show, and then them ears start to recede. I'm telling you for a long time, you know, you see the more you tighten the locks, and dry it, you know, and the more it recede. So you soon your forehead gonna reach at the middle of your head, and your locks start from the back of your head, and you know hold. Cause them things are supposed to hold people like me. But rather they come with the Congo locks. That one out of the locks look like, I tell you, a tree trunk. But nobody know why you talk about locks later, so they start to take and dig it out. And they go at the first ear-dressing parlor. But twist it quick before it start to clump up. I can't do what I talk about, clump up. Yeah, man. So the thing change up. We have pleased men and people more and more daily. You know, see, because I rather not want to eat, cook again, you know. Most rather not want to cook again, you know. I don't know about ital food, you know, see. I want them chunks. Everybody eat chunks. I don't know about mix up carrot and pumpkin and chocho and grated coconut and boil it down and put the food in it and make it boil down and man, I want to do them something again. So we get 2 chunks on the 7 day them and say he might eat ital. That's not ital, that's a vegetarian food. That's what we used to feed hog with. Chunks we used to feed hog with. You know, see, first time you feed hog with it and you mix up all green banana skin and yam skin and boil it up in a kerosene tin and put enough salt in there and choke the hog. But them catch way. They don't say them catch way. Them catch way, of course. Rasta afraid to look like Rasta now. Rasta want to look like who them want to Rasta to look like. I say it go. Yeah man, sometimes it amazes I when I just catch back and watch and I say, oh, the thing go now like ganja. You can't travel with ganja for, you know. You know, yeah. Police stop, you know, you just draw a spliff and smoke it. Said we like a cigarette. Them thing the first time I see you go to jail for. You see the thing different now. We say dreadlocks, weave, dreadlocks, wig. Man, I cook certain food and that's a high-tal food. I don't even know the first thing about high-tal food. Yeah, man. That's where it reach. That's where it reach. And crown queen. Cutting edge, and I continue the new vibes, new music, Steel Pulse. Steel Pulse, my brethren them. First time we go to Africa, me and Steel Pulse go to Africa. Yes. We get stranded all in Africa, Nigeria to be exact. Brand new tune by Steel Pulse. Here we go.
Black people, Arise and shine, for the light has come,
and the glory of the King of Kings is now risen upon thee.
I tell you, man, good reggae music still I make. It's just that the DJ them to find them and play them. We're going to change up the vibes, you know. Believe you me, we're going to change up the vibes. And we're going to play something at the night at all. Yeah, we're going to play something tonight, yeah. Because, you know, say, we have to really continue the tradition at the cutting edge. Over the years, we bring certain things to light. And this is like a, what you call, this is not a radio program. This is an institution on radio. 28 years now, we got 27 or 28. We stop counting now, we're going to stop count. 27 years, make me sound like me old. Because the lady was so long this time, you know, she not reached 28 yet. That means that we had the cutting edge from our mother did not listen. So here we are saying now, we're going to change up the vibe now. This is music where I go on in Africa, you know. Young people music, Afrobeat style. Here we go. Yes, so we hear everybody talk about reparation now too. You know, Rasta they talk about reparation and now it come like a thing. Everybody want reparation, you know. Well, we deserve to get reparation. Because in America, them they plan, them they tell the black people, them tell them, I'll give them 40 acre and a mule. 40 acre and a mule. Well, you know, so nobody not ride mule again. So you have to give a Mercedes Benz and 40 acre. But them not going to do that. Because them say them will make opportunity for whether you're black or white in America, you're supposed to can earn that. Like how we say Jay-Z now is the first hip-hop black billionaire. Jay-Z, first black billionaire. And Rihanna is the richest female artist. So they must show you say, see, we open the place with black people make it, so what you complaining about? Well, you know, you say if one man free and the others not free, no man can say that him truly free. Because the freedom of one is dependent upon the freedom of all. The freedom of one is dependent upon the freedom of all. And in America, less than 5% of the population earn more than the rest at 95% of the population. The 5 richest men in the world can stop hunger with 1 year of them pay. When I say, the 5 richest men in the world can stop hunger with 1 year of them pay. So when them I tell you that all these things I know, and I tell you say, if you just have faith and think, man. Anything what you think you can't get is lie. You know how much time I think by certain things I know I can't get it. Enough things you think pan, you know. You wish and a hope and a prayer. And right now the prayer thing look away. Because there's so much wickedness going on. And last week we said something, you know. Last week we said something about the cutting stepping razor, and I know how people are listening. And today, I park up somewhere and a little lady come to me and I say, you know, son, I hear you said something on the radio yesterday, you know. I mean last week, you know, I was listening to you. And you said you was going to blaspheme. Because I did say, I'm going to blaspheme. And I said, well, I say that the Christian God, I'll say it again, I will know, so we have enough Christian friends, I'll listen to this program here. You say the Christian God, where most people pray to, including a whole heap of Rasta, even though I say Jah, and that's the next thing, you know. I bet a man just say Haile Selassie and done, and nobody with the Jah thing, you know. Because sometimes you hear a man say Jah, and you know, I know Haile Selassie might talk about. Because Jah in the Bible, Haile Selassie in the Bible. But you know, some people afraid to say Emperor Haile Selassie the first. Him prefer say Jah because it make him escape. Just like the locks with twissy. Anyway, it boils down to this now that I say when I look on the situation we are going, well, it's going on in Jamaica, but all over the world. But it's true when it's near to it, we feel it more. It's like when a plane crash and kill 200 people, and you say, Lord, and screw 200 people dead, and that is it for you. But wait till somebody who are your friend or your family dead in the 200. You hear how much pain and agony you go through just for that one person there. Not for the 199, just that one person there. So, we are saying last week that with all the whole heap of children we are getting murdered and raped and, you know, domestic violence, but the children, them, I could talk about the children, them, when man just rape little girls and burn them and all them sort of them. May I say, this Christian God, with them have, look on all of them things that happen, and not do nothing about it. Because him see and know everything, and that them tell me when I have picnic. This Christian God, them said see and know everything. So if him see and know everything, and him see this thing happen, and not do nothing about it, why me would that thing say I'm going to do something for me? I don't think him about to do nothing for me, because look how much picnic are dead out there. Look how much picnic I get raped. As you turn around, so every week, you hear about a little picnic. The man shoot a little 2-year-old the other day, want to kill his wife and shoot a little 2-year-old. That little 2-year-old know where him do. You tell me, say, God, I look on all that and make it happen. And me, if I come turn around and I say, well, you know, God know best. No, sir. Me a human being, and me have to look on the thing accordingly. And me a look on it and me a say, me can't worship that Christian God, the Rasta. No. Because it sound like the Christian God, they no have no compassion. Yet still I hear him is the most compassionate of all compassions. He is compassionate. And the little picnic them and get raped and burn up and nothing I do about it. So the little old lady, well, not a little old lady still, but she tell I say, she hear I say that, and she say, is the cruelness of them heart. The cruelness of man heart get cold. Me I say, but it's not the man who kill her me I talk about. The little picnic who dead me I talk about. Me no business the female heart get cold. And the little girl me I talk about when him raped. Where you tell me about man heart get cold and God give them up to reprobate. Hey, if you a little old lady tell me, God give them up to reprobate mind. Me say reprobate mind. And the man me I talk about. Why you tell me about what the man do and God make him do wickedness? Him take a little girl and rape her. Why you tell me about reprobate mind for? So where the little girl, where the little 2-year-old where the man shot last week though? And we can't be to say by tomorrow man we hear much more people dead again. A terrible thing. A man want me turn around and I say, yeah, me a Christian. No, sir. The greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. The greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressor. And when them are black people really believe, say, there's some being out there, I watch all how we are going, and black people are suffer so much in our earth. We come from the richest continent and we have the poorest people. The exploitation, the colonialism and the slavery were still not done. The Europeans, them invade the country and take out all the wealth and take out the people them now. And now them they'll have to take out the people them again. The people them are run from them own continent and want to end up in our next country where them use them and take out them liver and sell them liver and them turn the picnic them in a sex slave and you tell me, say, this Christian God, all of them things that happen. What did I do to deserve this pain and agony? What did I do? And you have man want to tell you, say, you know, say black people wicked. Because we are killed with one another. Of course we are killed with one another. But who kill one another like how white people kill white people? White people kill one another every day. Every day. And when I justify killing, we just say that we look upon ourselves in the way where white people want. We look upon ourselves cruel and wicked and evil. But when we look and we say, we're European, but to the world is terrible. It's terrible. Or we just nonchalant, just accept these things. We just go in a store and just buy clothes were made from, you name the name where them always print on them shirt. And they print it white on them shirt too. And white people, black people make you buy that for how much money. And if you can't afford that, the Chinese guy just come and just take one of them shirt there and just duplicate it and just sell it cheaper than the original one. And we still take it and just, because we can't get the cheaper one, so we just wear the cheaper one and come show up like say, we buy it from Fifth Avenue. Or we buy it in Beverly Hills. And when we say our things, we demonize it. So them have way, I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. And me I say, but wait. Oh, we are do these things and we are suffer so. I mean, no say nobody no love sufferation. And when we look on the top, regardless love sing about the wicked man and the wicked man. When rain fall, the wicked man sit down in his house and drink champagne and close up his window and watch TV same way. When rain fall, poor people have to look at them house a leak and I look for pan to catch the water that soak on the dirt, the ground. And when the hurricane come, the same people them we go to church every Sunday, and if you don't mind, them go all Monday too. Them go to church every Sunday. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray. And when hurricane come, them house match down. The same man we up there so where I say wicked man. The wicked man. God save him house. If you want to call it God, because must that happen. And must that happen. So the poor feel it under the hands of God. Because we call now, we could call say the storm and the hurricane and all of them things there is the hands of God. When you sign contract in a foreign, them say, act of God. When earthquake come, poor people feel it more than rich people. When place are burn down, and when you look on the place them are burn down, poor people feel it more than rich people. When you go down at the clinic, when you go down at Kingston Public Hospital, when you go down when you go up at University Hospital, when you go to Mandeville Hospital, when you go to Spanish Town Hospital, appear poor people there, and the whole of them got church every Sunday. So what you try to tell me say now? So we get caught in a something where it's like it carry mind, control our mind, and it not work for we. It not working for we. But we get so embedded in it. When mother come, great grandmother come, and all of them come and get seeped into this thinking that there's something out there that is predestined, or pre-designing our ways. Yet still we are hope say it change. If it pre-designed and you are predestined to move into that level, you can't know nothing about it. But most of them believe in a predestined. Just like how them say, Judas sell out Jesus. And when you say Judas sell out Jesus, what a wicked man. But them tell you that it was written that did not happen. So if Judas was predestined to do that, according to them, him couldn't change. Him didn't have to do it. So what wrong him do? More than him carry out the works of God. Because God sent him, forgot to do that, you know. God sent him son, which is really a contradiction. God sent him son to be crucified for the sins of the world. And there's more sin in the world now than when this God did get crucified, Jesus. And I say something wrong with the thinking. Something wrong with the thinking. Black people get caught in an illusion that is perpetuated by European thinking and philosophy and logics. That when we see our thinking, when we see our things, we demonize it. We don't want to work with no African nothing. You man talk about Jesus every day. I'll rasta hear that talk about Jesus, this and Jesus. Tell me, I say, but what do them people are? Look how much people are dead. Look how black people are suffer. And then somebody will tell me and say, God give them up to them retrograde mind. Who God give up to them retrograde mind? Because I was not talking about the one who commit the crime. I was talking about the victim of the crime. And I am saying that if this Christian God is all compassionate and loving, how could he who is all knowing and all seeing, and me as a little mortal, a little human being, can feel the pain there when me see the mother them a cry? Me see mothers a cry in the ghetto. When you look on your television and something happen, when police shoot a little youth, a pure woman you see on the TV, them a use, hey, you see all water shot now, we still have to go use with tears and drink it. Because the amount of tears we have fallen in the ghetto, for the amount of people who are dead, for the amount of funeral, the amount of funeral will take place now for get up youth where them grandmother have to bury them. Them grandmother. There was a time when you feel say a 19-year-old, 20-year-old youth have to go work and bury him grandmother. No, the grandmother work and bury her grandson. And she go to church. She has been going to church from ever since I know her. She has been going to church. She has been praying. And the more she pray, the more things get worse. And me, you know, who look on all of these things now, and me I move myself out of this box where them put me in from slavery days till now, them have we in a box. Me now must go really look on that and say, yes, that me I work with. Me not work with that. White man God can't save you from white man oppression. And if white people are worship this God, and the slave come worship the same God, all the slave are go free. Because the white man are hold on pan for him slave and pray to him God that him slave live long enough to work the plantation. And the slave are work with the same God who are hope say him can get free from the white man. And when we look on it now work for the slave. So the slave have to go return to him roots. Marcus Garvey say a people without a knowledge of them root, of them history is like a tree without root. So we have to go return to the root. What were we doing in Africa? What were the institutions? What were the gods? I'm going to say gods, yes, gods, with an S on it. What were the philosophy? What were the opinions that guide and protect we before the Europeans got there? Before the Arabs got there? We had thousands of years of history before these invaders come inside there. And when them come inside, so everything gone haywire now. And from them time there until now, we still have this residue of this mentality that when we say anything black no good, we will trust a white doctor, but we not trust a black doctor more than so. We will trust the Indian, we have him whole heap of things on television, but him can get your strength, money and all them things there. But him not trust the other man down at St. Thomas. Because now them are debating in a parliament to see if they must decriminalize Obia. I mean, not, Obia man advertise on TV because it's illegal. But the same thinking where a man tell us say him have connection to the supernatural power. Him advertise on TV because he come from India. And the same guy, we call himself evangelist, we come in at Jamaica and put up a tent and have 5,000 people in there. And him call up people and push them down and say, I heal them in the name of God because him have a special link to the supernatural being we call Christian God. The Christian God allow him to heal you. That means him have a connection with a supernatural being. Him no call it Obia. Him call it evangelism, revival, awakening. But when you go to the little Obia man at St. Mary, people say, a devil worship, a witch doctor. Oh, witch can't be doctor. Witch can't doctor. Doctor can't be witch. Oh, him become the Obia man. People that say Obia man a devil worship thing and a devil this and a devil that. Then let me ask you a question now. When you go to church, Roman Catholic Church, and passing, the father put the Eucharist in your mouth and said, this is the flesh of Jesus Christ. And him said, drink the wine, this is the blood. What you call that? I'm going to give you blood, I'm going to give you wine and I say a blood, and I'm going to give you a piece of little cake and I say a flesh. You must say, eat the flesh of Jesus and drink the blood of Jesus. And him not see that as nothing wrong with that. But him go around to the Obia man and the Obia man say, all right, you want things better for you because this guy in the church and this Indian guy and make you feel say him have some direct link to this supernatural being that them call God. But the Obia man who tell you say, all right, here you know. You want visa, mix up this, that, and you not get the visa still, you know. You not get the visa, you know. Because them say believe kill and believe cure. And when them say, why you want to say that man there trouble me, you know? Give me something to get you that man, you know? And them say, all right, do this, blam. Tomorrow man, the man dead, you know, you feel say, are you make him dead, you know? And him go to the Lord and sick for a long time. Him go to the sick for a long time, you know. Because I'm telling you all the while, you know, just when you decide say you're going to give up, the thing where you give up on just happen right in front of you, and say, oh, thank God. God, now I'm not for doing it, you know. But that's how we get trained for think. As me always that say, it's like a man, I drive a car and he meet an accident and one of him foot broke. I hear a man come and say, thank God he never broke your 2 foot. And me I say, but what the hell? They why he broke my 1 foot? Me have 2 foot and he broke one and me must thank him say he never broke the other one. No, me doing that. Me doing that. It's a madness. It's a madness. Black people get caught in over hundreds of years of madness. And we keep saying it, we keep doing it, and everybody keep regurgitating the same thinking, the same perspective, and even when we find something else to hold on to, him draw him up over this and carry it over this and make the over here to look like it have no sense. And me talk about Rasta. Rastafari find a way out of the madness. But guess what him do? In order to make what him find look real and authentic, him carry the madness, come put over here so and validate where him find with the madness to him should have little leg over there so. And then make you see it realize it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. So when a man at ball out Emperor Haile Selassie and him make it turn into Jesus Christ and him give the same powers to Haile Selassie where him believe Jesus Christ have, it not gonna make no sense. A Rasta me attack to, it not make no sense. Because you don't even know if there was a Jesus in the first place, because nobody never named Jesus 2,000 years ago. It don't make no sense. We say that over. We not stop saying it. Because you have to keep saying the same thing. You have to keep saying it. Because some black people stay, them have to keep hearing the same thing. It's like you hear a tune for the one time and you don't like it, but you keep hearing it, and you say, rotted. Like you look on the television and you see an ad for a product and you say, oh, so that product that's not going to work. But if you continues to see that product, you don't go buy it. That's how they make their money. So we have to tell the same thing. So even if you know you hear it already, you're going to hear it 1 million times as long as me there. So we take what we're supposed to left behind and I use it to validate what we find over here. So it make the work harder. Because we have tried to turn Rastafari, Haile Selassie, in a some belief system where will that say never work in a slavery. In other words, we have bleached Haile Selassie, turn him in a white Jesus with a black mask. And it not gonna work. Because the more you do that, is the more people look at you and say, what kind of fool thing now? What them I say? Now what them I say? It's supposed to free way from colonialism and white supremacy. It cannot free way from these things if we're using the things them that put us in colonialism and slavery and validate what we want to free we from slavery. It cannot work. It cannot work. Planner said sweet. Planner said we have to find a new faculty of interpretation. We have to find a new faculty of interpretation. I will know the faculty of interpretation, but what? Well, if I want now to accept it because I'm willing for all and where him did that ear from them time there. Just like how your grandmother and your great-grandmother did a whole lamp and things with them ear from them time there. It's not going to work. It's going to just fade away. It's going to come like Christians who don't have no culture. Because Christian people have no culture. Them just believe in a something. Rastafari come with a holistic thing. Or you eat, or you walk, or you talk, or you look. And so will it come. We come with a different kind of thing. But we can't transform that thing now into the thing where we are left and are moving from. It can't go work because we're going to fade away into oblivion, just fade away and become a part of what we was fighting against. So we look on the thinking because it's starting at the mind. And we are say, if you have a mindset, we are sure you say, everything where you think on, if it don't connect to where you did learn in your spirit, then something wrong with what you think now. That's why them used to say Rasta mad people. Because, them did see Rasta man never think like them. Because you can look on a man where in Ethiopia and say, my God. So that is madness. So you supposed to believe, say, God is supposed to be a supernatural being. So you start to make Haile Selassie become a supernatural being. You can't make Haile Selassie be what him is not. Him is not a supernatural being. It's a joke business. It's a natural being we are talking about now. And that's how we there. Natural. That's why we say ital. It's a ital being. Just like I. When you say I, it's Haile Selassie. It's them things that we are work with. So we have to free our mind from the concepts that was carried to us. Then bring certain concept to it. And a whole lot of people can relate to it. But we're afraid, say, we can't contextualize it because we have to use what we did learn. And when I recognize, say, what we believe we know, this is serious thing I talk about. What we believe we know was taught to us by people who believe them know. What we believe we know was taught to us by people who believe them know. The first man who give us somebody a PhD, him never have no PhD. But him what? He make PhD become a thing that you must have now if you have certain passes and this and that in the university of this and that. You think say him have more brains than I? Him not have no more brains than I because him have PhD. Because the first man who give that never have no PhD. But guess what? You see the PhD man, him believe him no. So guess what him do? Him start to teach people where him believe him no. And the person who him teach, where him believe him no, start to think say him no. And him not realize say him believe him no. And it go on and on and on and on and on to most away who believe so we know. And we stand up and we will die for what we believe we know. Was start to us by people who believe them know. It have to stop somewhere. And I thought Rasta was going to stop it and cut it up. But when I look on the whole phenomenon of Rastafari, it's like, yes, I mean, Christianity and, you have some Rasta said not what you eat and all. Yeah, as I said, not what you eat. Because the Bible says not what you eat. You know, you remember when Peter said, rise, when the Spirit said, rise, Peter, kill and eat. You know, it's not what you eat, and, you know, it's not culture. Culture is the highest level of any discipline in any society, because all the discipline them derive from culture, and religion come from culture. Them say religion is the deification of people's culture. Religion is the deification of people's culture. So when a man starts to dig deep and him can't find no answer, him turn to the supernatural. The supernatural is just another part of himself. And him knows that self exists. But instead of him internalize the self that exists, him externalize it and him give over the power to a being that him don't understand, don't know, and will never know, because that being can't help him, because there's no such being. This is the cutting edge. Yeah, this is the cutting edge. Whereas I go through the places. But what, hey, Uncle Bear in England, you know, Uncle Bear, you know, easy, you know, Rasta. May I tell you. You know, so we have Uncle Bear and our friend inside of the studio, yeah, may I tell you, she not easy. Anyway, you know, we always a big up Duke BSA. Well, we want to big up Rummy and Green. Rummy and Green, we want to heal you up. Yeah, man, you're consistent, because we get a message and we have to call it out. We don't call out the whole of them, because come like everywhere in the world. Because like everywhere in the world you cover. That's why I tell people, say, more people are listening to culture than outside of Jamaica than inside, you know. So we want to heal up Rummy and Green, who make this program and reach in Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Angola, Argentina, Australia. We want to heal up the sister them in Australia, where they're responsible for a visit down there years ago with you for your next visit down there. But Bahrain, Bangladesh, Belgium, Belize. We want to heal up Belize, you know, we're on our way today, you know. Yeah, we're on our way there. We so come. Bolivia, Bosnia, Botswana, Brazil. I mean, we can't recall all the name them where the brethren. Yes, we really have to, we have to heal them up. And all the people them who are listening from them country they will call, and the people them who are listening from the country them will never call, and who catch it on the internet after it done. We want to heal them up, you know, because yes, it reach out there. It reach out there. We're glad for that. This is the cutting edge, and IRFM will continue in the journey.
See, Jomo Kenyatta once said, when the missionaries arrived, the Africans had the land, and the missionaries had the Bible. They taught us how to pray with our eyes closed. And when we opened them, they had the land, and we had the Bibles. Do you see how swiftly they pull wool from the lamp of God over our eyes? The greatest lie colonialism ever told was that it brought God to Africa. Yes, they brought their Bibles, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their churches, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their guns, but they did not bring God to our lands. What they brought was an image made to justify the breaking of our bodies like communion bread, a false idol that to this day I still see hanging so many Kenyan homes, a frame full of blonde hair, pink and pale skin, eyes, a light blue piercing enough to draw blood, to have already drawn blood.
Yes, serious thing. They never bring God to Africa. And we create gods for ourselves. Every other group of people have them own God. So them want to get rid of the gods where we deal with, and them say, in a film book, thou shalt worship no other gods but me. And them I tell we that, you know. And them I say, only one God, but the God with them pray to say, thou shalt worship no other gods. So if there was no other gods, why must say that? It's just that him know why you worship them God there. Because we did have our gods, we did have keep for thousands of years before the Jewish God get created. That same God were in the Torah, what them call the Old Testament, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Gods and goddesses existed thousands of years before these things come to us. For bind we. And them tell us that snake was talking to woman and all them things, that woman brings sin into the world and all these stories. And all the stories that them tell after is allegories, it's not real. It's men trying to figure out things in themselves, in them culture. It's not real things. You know, them I tell you about this and that, and them used to sacrifice and then go and like say other groups of people to sacrifice, even human sacrifice. Because we go to a certain place in South America and we see the pyramid them where them used to throw. We're not talking about white people now. We're not talking about white people. We're talking about indigenous people from them place there. We believe in these gods. And these gods, in every culture, the gods love virgins. Every culture. Not one, it's not just virgin birth culture in a Jewish culture. Every culture talk about the virgins. Even Zeus did love virgins. So when the gods want a sacrifice, these people used to climb them pyramids, like in a Belize, them have some of them pyramid there. Them have 3 pyramids set in a way where them set them things like in relationship to the celestial bodies in the sky. So a brethren, they tell me, say, him go show me which part them used to throw the female alpha. I will climb, go up on the pyramid. I mean, like it's steep, no right, it come like a step, but it's steep. It's like you have to, well, me did have to do it, you know, like, you have to climb it with your hand and your foot. But it's like a step, but the way it almost straight up. And I like our step where have an angle away there, them build for themselves, it's like a pyramid step. Anyway, when we go up there, and them show you which part these ancient indigenous people used to worship the gods. And then in order for offer up sacrifice, they would take a virgin girl. Because some of them know, it's a weird thing because them bring up the girls them in a way for know, say, well, when they reach a certain age, they will be sacrificed to the gods. See, that is human thing, you know. It's human thing, it's in every religion, you know. Every religion sacrifice deal with human sacrifice we are talking about. Because God offer up his son as a living sacrifice. Abraham did not kill his son. And him use a lamb and blood sacrifice. God said him love the scent of dead flesh. Genesis 8. So anytime Noah come out of the ark, him say, all right, offer up the best of the this and the that and slaughter them to the Lord. So sacrifice was a thing in them days then. Not only in Bible or not only amongst indigenous people. So now them use wine and blood, wine and the cake for offer up as sacrifice. So, we are telling you about this, the pyramid that we go up on now. We go up on this pyramid now. Incas, Mayans, them in Mexico too and all these things. And we go up on the pyramid and them show you one little part of the pyramid where them used to have them rituals, really, and all this, and them dress up in a this and this and that. And then them take the little girl, the girls them now, and throw them off of throw them off of the pyramid. And you can see, you can see the blood stains still upon the pyramid them. Just like when you go in the castle them or dungeons them in Africa. Where the African them used to keep, for send them come across or so. You see, the ground where we walk on, the ground where you walk on is not concrete. It is made up of piss, filth, flesh, everything, cake up there. For years, it cake up there. Years. Well, it's same you know when you go in this pyramid now, them you can see signs that a whole heap of people, well, it's girls we are talking about, so them throw the girls them off of the pyramid them as living sacrifice to the gods. Now, white people go there and them say these people is primitive, which I would have looked on it as primitive. But when we look on the culture that we now follow and believe say that culture is different from where them people that they do, and we look on guns where these people make and kill each other in a wars. World War I, World War II was not World War. It was white people killing white people in Europe. It was not World War. It was white people killing white people in Europe. Because after them done kill off everybody else, them turn upon themselves and offer up themselves as sacrifice. And then them take we, even Jamaicans, and carry over this so for fight for them. And claim say no, them are fight to free the world from tyrants and tyranny. But when we look on the tyrants and tyranny, who is the tyrants and who is creating tyranny amongst the people? So we look now and we see say the sacrifice that these primitive people used to indulge in. We are talking about the sacrifice like where Abraham used to indulge in and Noah and Moses, according to Jewish tradition, where them used to offer up sacrifice. Them used to offer up children's sacrifice. Then why you think God tell Abraham to offer up his son? Because it's something them used to do. The firstborn son, that's why God attacked all of the firstborn them. All the while them attack the firstborn them. None of that in Egypt, no that them tell you said happened in Egypt. When Pharaoh never let go to pity them, God go attack the firstborn of every child, Egyptian child, and wipe out the children them in Egypt. Sacrifice the children them in order to let go the children them of Israel. And that's the story I tell you. But we now look on it that way there. Because we see it as just. We see it as just that an entity who we claim is an entity would kill every children that was firstborn. Just like how them retell the story in the New Testament in a different way now. That them say Jesus' father and mother run, take him go to Egypt because Herod say he must catch all of the firstborn them. It's the same story that I tell again, you know. But we believe there's two different stories. The same story. It's the same story. That's why we say it never really happened. It's an allegory. It's a story with a meaning, but we never really understand the meaning. But we take it literal. So the same God come again now, but it's coming at Psalm of Herod now and say, look here, kill off all the firstborn. If you kill off all the firstborn, you must find the man who we are looking for. We are going to start to take over the place. Just like how them send the destroyer through Egypt to wipe out all the firstborn them. It's a tradition in every culture. The firstborn and even the first animal too. I mean, animal without blemish. Because you can't go sacrifice a ugly girl. You can't go sacrifice a young child with flat nose. I'm skin too black. I know me say it. And the Bible say it. Them say nobody shouldn't come in the tabernacle with no flat nose. And we them attack. Because he's not worthy to stand in front of the holy ground, which is in the tabernacle of the Lord. Because the Levites them decide who must go there, who must not go there, because them are guard the ark in the tabernacle. So they have to build two doors, the outer chamber and the inner chamber. You think so when I read these things, I will see it transform itself in other things. Like the tomb where they put Jesus in a transform itself from that now to an ark. And we are saying the relationship between the similarities, not necessarily the same, between different cultures. So when we look at all of these cultures and we are saying, all right, who is doing most of the sacrificing? Because right now, we look like we're there at the slaughter to the altar now, black people there to the altar. Because the way all the people them had switch up the earth and all of these different things were supposed to happen at the time. Remember when May was rainy month? No rain now fall and May was coming in June now. And we say hurricane supposed to come now, because them say the 1st of June is supposed to be hurricane season clear till October. And when you see snow fall at Jamaica, it's supposed to fall at Mandeville. You think it's a joke. The man say, boy, we not get snow at Jamaica, you know, yes? The other day, I England and say hurricane, upon the way one hurricane lick up now in Scotland and we let me say, ratted. Imagine me, the England and think, so we don't get a hurricane. I become clear England, come and experience hurricane, that's all. Me I fly that plane one time and me check say the plane I go down. Definitely, from England to Austria, me feel say the plane I go down now. So, me just decide, say, well, I saw it go. Call one girl beside me and hold on and me say, oh my God, and I scream and everybody I scream and the thing never drop out of the top of the thing and the thing them fly out of the thing and me I said, no, what's that, this serious at all. And the plane goes rich grass. And when them see the land, when we see the landing around the plane landing on Rasta, me I tell you, you see the next day, me hear say it's a hurricane. The plane did pass through one terrible hurricane in Austria. Me never know, them could have hurricane all the while, but me never know that. Just like how me never know, you have tribes way up at the top of Austria there, in Finland. I mean, we see it in a movie still. You know, we see them, the Slavs, and we see the barbarians and all that. But we never take them as tribes, because the only time we hear about tribes is in Africa. When we hear about Europe, it's nations. But them have tribe too. And them sacrifice each other too. Yes, them sacrifice. And if you look on the Bible from Genesis, go right down, a whole heap of sacrifice make. That the Lord talk about sacrifice. That shall be a sacrifice unto the Lord and sacrifice unto the Lord. And when them don't want them, kill them one another, him said they must turn upon the animal them. So instead of them offer up a human sacrifice, them offer up an animal sacrifice until it reaches the New Testament now. Him himself offer up a human sacrifice, which is supposed to be his son. So sacrifice continue again. And then we now join the church and mimic the sacrifice by drinking wine and eating flesh and eating cake. And I talk about is the flesh and the blood. So what to the root now? The root is that we did have our own thing go on. until them twist it and turn it and make it look like them now do them thing and it evil and all them something there. When we look at medieval Europe, what them used to do in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. When we look at what them doing at the modern times here, where them use them Christian thing and say them go fight against Saddam. And when we look at what them do with Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and them a try usher in what them call the apocalyptic age in a revelation. Them a try speed it up now to make we feel say the Bible right because it a come to pass. When I whole heap of them things away that it come to pass already because it never written for this time, it written for the time then when it happen. And it happen already. So them have we have fear say, and I read it and I say, see it there? In a revelation, this is what happen now. Anything will happen now, we say see it there in the Bible, you know. And it happen all the while. And every generation look upon it and say, see it there. Remember when 2 million did I done? When them say the world I go end and you know what time them say the world I go end 1914 them say the world I go end and all them something. And the world still there so I pressure everybody. But we believe them thing there and we start to find scriptures for validate and justify happening in our time. In our time. And the man who did write it did I write about for him time. They never hear Jesus turn up and say, there's many here that shall not see death until the Son of Man appear again. Many here that shall not see death. He never say many are going to come and don't say that. He say many here. That means say, the people them who stand up in front of him, he might talk to them. He say, there's many here that shall not see death until the Son of Man appear. There is many here that shall not see death. Where the man them the way I talk about now. Where them there? Where them man they there? You tell me say no, them alive still? Or is not? When him say there's many here is not the people them in front time him talk about. There is who I talk. I know me I talk about because me never there. Which body in the world is there when him say that? Them people that dead and gone. That means say it done gone already. It done gone already. Then if it done gone already, oh, you still look for it because you read it now in a book where the man write it down and there's many here that shall not see death. And you have to say, well, me can't dead, you know. Because me I live according to the scriptures. So me now go see death. Me go just take it up in heaven, rapture. What a madness. One of us say them have with twisted. With twisted, man. With directly twisted. Twisted. We can't twist it no more. Yeah, this is the Coaching Edge on IRFM there with you. I go through the PSs as usual. Okay, where are they now? Where they are, so. Here we go.
So the narrative of black people in the United States was, you know, you came from these primitive, savage people who had no history, and everything you are, we made you.
Strip the African of his knowledge of himself. You can then replace that knowledge with any falsification of consciousness you desire. Once you take from me my knowledge of myself, you can then tell me those lies.
To get someone to actually think that someone else is inferior, you have to raise that type of mentality to a religious level.
Remember, when they attacked Africa, they did not attack Africa physically. They did not attack Africa educationally. They attacked Africa spiritually. Jomo Kenyatta said when the European first came to Africa, the Africans had the land and the white man had the Bible. White man told him to close his eyes, get on his knees and pray. Jomo said when the black man opened his eyes, the white man had the land and the black man had the Bible.
It's just been awful how they've did us in religion. And our people tend to think that even those who feel that they know that white Americans have mistreated us, their grandchildren or great-grandchildren still mistreating us in a lot of ways. They still believe, well, but nobody would lie about God, when that's not true. People who are trying to subjugate another people and turn them into slaves, not just physically, but mentally, then they certainly would try to teach them that God looks like me. We thought the only God we had was the one that white people gave us, which was Jesus, okay? And he looked like them. And when we saw them, psychologically, we would transfer that was deity. If it really was unimportant what he looked like, then why didn't he look like some of the majority of the people on earth? Why would he look like the people who are the minority race on the entire earth? We're not the minority.
People always ask me, why do the black church not get rid of the white Jesus and put a blue black Jesus in place with a nappy head? Because black people would stop going.
In fact, today, if you were to go to Africa and talk to the children who've been Christianized, they will tell you that their ancestors covenanted with devils, and this is why black people are in the condition they are today. So turn to Christianity, and of course you turn to the oppressor's religion, and then you eat the gruel that they give you, and at the bottom it says Jesus saved you. Of course, you're conditioning that person for another 1,000 years.
Christ.
When you talk about the image of Christ, it is important that we no longer ascribe to the European image of Christ. Why? Because the brain is a associating organism. It stores everything as pictures. And because it is associating, if you force feed an African child that Christ is white, because the brain associates, as that child begins to grow, the brain will associate white Christ with white people. And so if white Jesus is God, then white people must also be the gods of humanity. And so guess what? The power in the painting is transferred to the people who resemble that painting. And so it is difficult to pray to a white Jesus and not in some way feel inferior to white people. And that's why when I talk to Christian ministers, I often tell them you have to change these pictures. They say it don't matter. Of course it matters. Why do you think the European went around the world and systematically altered the image of Christ in every major cathedral, every major church, every corner of the globe? Because it is difficult to oppress a people whose image of the God doesn't look like the oppressor. But when God and the oppressor look one in the same, then the people will come to believe that the oppression was ordained by God.
Yes, I wanted to hear what the man them say, or the woman them. You know, so we're going to play it again. We're going to play it again, believe you me. We're going to play it again. Here we go.
So the narrative of black people in the United States was, you came from these primitive, savage people who had no history, and everything you are, we made you.
Strip the African of his knowledge of himself. You can then replace that knowledge with any falsification of consciousness you desire. Once you take from me my knowledge of myself, you can then tell me those lies.
To get someone to actually think that someone else is inferior, you have to raise that type of mentality to a religious level.
Remember, when they attacked Africa, they did not attack Africa physically. They did not attack Africa educationally. They attacked Africa spiritually. Jomo Kenyatta said when the European first came to Africa, the Africans had the land and the white man had the Bible. White man told him close his eyes, get on his knees and pray. Jomo said when the black man opened his eyes, the white man had the land and the black man had the Bible.
It's just been awful how they've did us in religion. And our people tend to think that even those who feel that they know that white Americans have mistreated us, their grandchildren or great-grandchildren still mistreating us in a lot of ways, they still believe, but nobody would lie about God, when that's not true. People who are trying to subjugate another people and turn them into slaves, not just physically but mentally, then they certainly would try to teach them that God looks like me. We thought the only God we had was the one that white people gave us, which was Jesus, okay? And he looked like them. And when we saw them, psychologically, we would transfer that was deity. If it really was unimportant what he looked like, then why didn't he look like some of the majority of the people on earth? Why would he look like the people who are the minority race on the entire earth? We're not the minority.
People always ask me, why do the black church not get rid of the white Jesus and put a blue black Jesus in place with a nappy head? Because black people would stop going.
In fact, today, if you were to go to Africa and talk to the children who've been Christianized, they will tell you that their ancestors covenanted with devils, and this is why black people are in the condition they are today. So turn to Christianity, and of course you turn to the oppressor's religion, and then you eat the gruel that they give you, and at the bottom it says Jesus saved you. Of course, you're conditioning that person for another 1,000 years.
Christ.
When you talk about the image of Christ, it is important that we no longer ascribe to the European image of Christ. Why? Because the brain is a associating organism. It stores everything as pictures. And because it is associating, if you force feed an African child that Christ is white, because the brain associates, as that child begins to grow, the brain will associate white Christ with white people. And so if white Jesus is God, then white people must also be the gods of humanity. And so guess what? The power in the painting is transferred to the people who resemble that painting. And so it is difficult to pray to a white Jesus and not in some way feel inferior to white people. And that's why when I talk to Christian ministers, I often tell them you have to change these pictures. They say it don't matter. Of course it matters. Why do you think the European went around the world and systematically altered the image of Christ in every major cathedral, every major church, every corner of the globe? Because it is difficult to oppress a people whose image of the God doesn't look like the oppressor. But when God and the oppressor look one in the same, then the people will come to believe that the oppression was ordained by God.
It's terrible, about just where math came from. All of the pictures that they've shown out of Africa, they've never really educated the Americans, white or black, about what really goes on in Africa, what some of the cities are really like, and that we're not running around over there with Tarzan, and when they show anything from Africa, even down to today, they pick the worst scenes, the most terrible situations, and they show those, but we have a proud history. But of course, what we did in Egypt 5,000 years ago, or what we did in China 35,000 years ago, is of no benefit if we don't understand what to do today and how that would help us to survive. We discovered the clock. We did discover the wheel. Black man has never been a caveman. You've never been in a cave. There's no history of it. You've ever been in a cave. We discovered mathematics and the alphabet and writing and all of those great things that they have built a foundation on, that they came and got and took back to other countries. We don't know what Africa would be like without the white influence. We don't know what it would be like without the Rockefellers and De Beers and all of them. We don't know what Africa would have been like. We do know that there were greater places in Africa other than Egypt, which is the only one they let us know about.
Concurrently and simultaneously during the Pyramid Age, there are great things happening in West Africa. But very seldom. There are nations known as Dar-Tichit. Dar-Tichit would geographically presently be located where Ghana is. We have the Nak culture, which is where we today would call Nigeria. We have the Monomotapa Empire in what today we call Zimbabwe. There are over 300 stone structures in southern Africa. And then you have that great structure in the great Zimbabwe that shows a direct relationship to the Grand Lodge of Luxor in Egypt. You have Puanit, which is in today's Somalia, Ethiopia. You have the Kush empires that are simultaneously happening. When Hatshepsut, the great Pharaoh king, although she was a woman, she was a Pharaoh king, sitting on the throne of Kemet, her cousin sits on the throne of Puanit, or what we call Somalia. There are great things happening historically across the African continent. You have the kingdoms of Kuba and Luba in Central Africa.
Mansa Musa was the king of Mali in the 1300s, very wealthy brother. During the dark age of Europe was going through a dark age, Africa was thriving. It was the gold capital. Mansa Musa was considered the wealthiest man on the planet at the time. Mansa Musa had a very well-known pilgrimage to Mecca, where he went to Egypt and went to Mecca and went through Egypt, and he gave out so much gold it threw off the Egyptian economy. In today's terms, Mansa Musa gave away what would be the equivalent of $100 million in gold.
The African was the first race to circumnavigate the entire globe.
All over Africa, all over the world, the peoples of color that they call Africans, South Pumalanians, we were all over the world. So to say that in Ghana, they had the Ashanti, they had, all over, we had powerful dynasties, so innumerable we couldn't even name them. Because remember, we had hundreds of thousands of years, and that's the secret. They cut us off at 6,000 because anything beyond that they could say is mystery. They could say is myth. So when you control the information, which is essentially what they've learned to do, under the Vatican they have about 6 to 8 miles of storage space that have all of our artifacts. And the Virgin Mother being black, all of the faces. We have to take apart the layers that are actually constructed in the lie. They're layered. For instance, you have a discipline in academia called Egyptology. Now, what is Egyptology? They say, well, it's the study of Egypt. Well, no, it's not the study of Egypt. Egyptology was created by the Vatican in order to make sure that there was a screening mechanism in place to explain away the truth that was being excavated every year, that kept giving them proof of who the ancient Kemites were. So Egyptology and Egyptologists are essentially agents of this information. Where else do you see a society, a people, and a way of life actually become a science? Unless you have specific purposes to make sure that the information that you are gathering on those people are given the proper perspectives to maintain the lie. So you don't get an Americology, you don't get Europology, you don't get Russiaology.
Richard Pryor, right? When he had his special back in 1977, there's a scene. They only allowed him to do 5 shows. In fact, they were rather ignorant because it took them 5 shows to realize what the brother was really doing. Richard Pryor, there's a scene where he goes in to the pyramids, and he is carrying the bags of the archaeologists and the anthropologists who are of European descent. And they're talking amongst themselves about what this find is and its importance, the greatness of it. And Richard Pryor is in this temple looking all around, and he begins to say, all these people are black. He said, look at that guy over there, that guy look like my uncle. And he's just, it's humorous, but what Richard Pryor is actually talking about is that, these are black people in these pyramids, and these are the people that built these pyramids. He's saying, wait a minute, these people... And then all of a sudden, the camera begins to show the anthropologists of European descent, and they start to nudge each other because they realize, hey, the guy carrying the bags is looking around and he's learning some things in here. So very quietly, you see them backing out of the pyramid, right? And Richard Pryor is still there talking about how great the pyramid is, and then all of a sudden, they show you the door close, and all of a sudden the scene goes black. Which means that was the blackout on the information for black folk to understand their history. This is what Richard Pryor was dropping on us in 1977. This is what actually has happened. Richard was telling us, this is what has happened to us. Because as you become conscious, and brother becomes conscious, and as a community we become conscious, the Europeans who know this are beginning to realize. So they're trying to shut the door on us.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to our meds. You know here. Continent. The end. The end.
It is already too late, said Oberika sadly. Our own men and our sons have joined the ranks of the stranger. They have joined his religion, and they help to uphold his government. If we should try to drive out the white men in Umuofia, we should find it easy. There are only 2 of them. But what of our own people who are following their way and have been given power? They would go to Umuru and bring the soldiers, and we would be like Abame. He paused for a long time and then said, I told you on my last visit to Mbanta how they hanged Aneto. What has happened to that piece of land in dispute? Asked Okonkwo. The white man's court has decided that it should belong to Nama's family, who had given much money to the white man's messengers and interpreter. Does the white man understand our custom about land? How can he, when he does not even speak our tongue? But he says that our customs are bad, and our own brothers who have taken up his religion also say that our customs are bad. How do you think we can fight when our own brothers have turned against us? The white man is very clever. He came peaceably and quietly with his religion. We were amused at his foolishness and allowed him to stay. Now he has won our brothers, and our clan can no longer act like one. He has put a knife on the things that held us together, and we have fallen apart.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to our laments. You know here, continent, the end, the end.
The Council of Nicaea was an effort by Constantine to control the people through military and through religion. Whoever can control your concept of God has a weapon more powerful than any physical weapon, than any sword, any gun, any atomic weapon. Whoever controls how you relate to the unseen presence of God will not only control you, but can control your children and your children's children. So it was at the Council of Nicaea that the Constantine, this emperor, needed to find a way to consolidate his power, because the people that he conquered in various parts of the world had different religions, different ideologies. And it was at Nicaea where he brought together these theologians, these scholars, if you will, to hammer out one uniform theology that everyone would follow.
And if Constantine could convince people to take Jesus as God on earth and change that he was a human being, then they could take over the control of the Catholic Church and make one. So they invited. And one of the priests was an African known as Arius. Bishop Arius. There's a book called Blacks Who Died for Jesus by Mark Hyman. Gives the story of Arius. Arius now gets word that Constantine knows Arius is coming to dispute this. Because he's saying, how are you going to tell people this? Nobody's going to believe that story. That Immaculate Conception, come on, we know that's written on the walls of Egypt. That's a mythology, that's an analogy. You're not supposed to believe that story. That's a nice story to live by, that each and every one of us has Jesus within us and every birth is an Immaculate Conception. But there was no one boy born as the Son of God to free. Come on, you can't. Constantine said, look, come on over here. Nicaea, I'm going to talk to you. He found out that he was going to be assassinated. So he fled into Europe with his followers. Arius and his followers became known as the Aryans. Wouldn't Hitler have a heart attack if he knew who the real Aryans were? They were a bunch of black folk.
Everybody who was worshiping ISIS and dealing with mostly a Kemetic religious philosophy, they said, we can't do this. This is ridiculous. This reminds me, there's no man called Jesus Christ. We ain't never heard of him. Well, Jesus Christ will take Jesus, which was the sun god in the West, and we'll take Christos, which was the sun god in the East, and we'll put them together. We'll have a name. And so what did he do? A man named Apollonius of Tyana, at that time, who had studied philosophy in Kemet, was teaching. He was a healer, working miracles. He was a hero at that time. So he became the template for Jesus Christ.
You know, say a woman named Harriet Tubman say, I have freed many, hundreds of slaves, but I could have freed more if only they knew they were slaves. Yeah, this is the Continental RFM. Yes, here.
Good night, Mutabaruka.
Good night.
Yeah, man, Empress Janet calling.
Yeah, we talk a little louder though.
Oh, okay. Empress Janet calling.
Empress Janet, what are you doing, Empress Janet? I don't know.
Yeah, man, I bless up, you know.
Yeah.
Giving thanks. And the love there for the eye every time, you know.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Yeah, man, and I'm glad that I enlighten us all the way, you know.
All right.
They want us to feel stupid as constant burdens here.
Yeah.
That is why they teach us that Jesus loves us.
Yes,
the Bible tell us so.
Yes, yes.
So that is why you see bleaching now go stop. Because you see the man with them says Jesus is a white man with blue eyes. Everybody want to be blue. Blue-eyed and white-skinned.
Yeah.
Tonight I hear you say, if you go get a white paint, Muta, every time me and nobody attack, I do the same thing I ask them.
Oh, you mean about the tattoo them?
You make one white paint.
Yeah.
Because the black people wouldn't have to bleach. The white paint will show up on their skin everywhere than them.
Better than the black paint.
Yes.
That's true, man.
They don't have to bleach out them skin at all.
Yeah.
If you can't go in our business to make a white paint, that would be very good. Would make lots of money.
Of course. And that look pretty too.
Yeah. But I tell you, Muta, when I walk on the road at daytime, Me fall in a chance. But people that think it's a chance me I get them, but that chance me fall in a.
Okay.
But me see them out and me have to stand up and look. I say, well, adopt the children. Them folks I love with them. It's a sad story, Muta.
Sad.
But you know what the government must do? They must stop, make the bleaching cream come to the island.
But I want to say some country, them ban it, you know, like Gambia, them did ban it, you know. You have countries right now where ban bleaching, you know, but I don't know, Jamaica now, the people them go ball out and say you infringe against them rights.
No, they can't find food, and they can't find bleaching cream. Everybody want to change in color. That's why when no wrong do, you know, you can't identify nobody. Because today them brown and tomorrow them black.
Yeah, that's why some of them don't get no visa. Because them go up there with one picture when them go to them say a different face.
Yes, and you can't identify them from parade. Because last month when them do something, there was a black man. And today, them is a brown man. Oh, you can identify them.
I say, the white guy just stop them say, come back 1 year time.
No presidency stop.
Yeah.
Them are set up for them do things that hide themselves.
Yeah.
That's why them are allow bleaching team in the country.
And it's something not supposed to come here, you know, but the government, them not do nothing about it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I saw it go. Anyway, give thanks.
Nothing to help us.
Yeah, give thanks, yeah?
Bless up yourself, Muta.
Yes.
And love.
Yes. I tell you, you can just imagine you go take a picture, you go get a visa, a passport and a visa, and the picture when your passport was when you never bleach. No, you bleach, you go up and embassy and I show them and say, oh my God, this is not you, man. Shit. What you come here for? You got somebody else's passport. Yes, poopa. Black people, we're confused.
Blessing and love with Mutabaruka.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man. It's 12 for a year, you know, man. I appreciate love the program that was going on so well that I have to give a shout. It's a long time when I really still, but
sure.
Last time at Takura place. But give thanks to the upliftment and the knowledge to the ones them who really need it in Jamaica here.
Yeah.
It's like you remind me when I start with school, I learned to say me ABC.
Not a school, man. A university in the night, you know.
Yeah?
A university in the night.
Yes, that I see. That I hear and that I understand. I have a little song called 5,000 Years of Slavery. I will bring it forward.
5,000?
I wish I good health, bigger wealth.
All right.
Prosperity continually.
I think you're going to say it. I think you're going to say the song.
It's over 5,000 years now the Babylon are cheat. Yes, them robbing for the crown, the bank and them fleet. Yes, them robbing. The poor man wealth, them locked in concrete. Yes, them robbing. And the poor lady tears, them I use brush them teeth. Them robbing. I use the church and see it as them bait. Righteousness them only exaggerate. All dirty sin them still a penetrate. You know them never early, yes, them always late. Emancipation Day, them a try pirate. Reparation, now we need the food in our plate. How them?
So where that CD there?
Yeah?
Where that CD there? How many have that CD there?
You know, sir, the one Brian we just run some CD there, you know, we give Brian everything.
Brian have it? You know, I'm going to box him down with a Bible tomorrow.
They're going to bring it come himself.
Where there? Brian have that tune there?
Yeah, man. I'm properly registered by Jimmy Hines and them great.
All right, I'm going to left the telephone book right beside me. When them come here tomorrow, I'm going to give him a box. I'm going to box him down with the telephone book.
Yeah, man. Brian, you can't box down and him and run and fix me up nice. And I'm going to go be.
All right, well, I'm not about to play the tune then. I'm not about to play the tune then. I have to give him a one lick snap with the Bible, man, with the telephone book.
Nobody box him down.
So when you going to bring the tune? When you going to bring it? Because I like what you said. I don't sound to him for record, but I like what you said now.
Muta, at 12, I'm saying, no, the same way we sound, man. We're not change nothing. England, France, anywhere we go, the same way we sound, you know.
England, France. I'm going to like what you sound in France.
People know me better.
All right. Well, you have to know.
Randy tell you.
All right.
I use Ran Carl with so.
No, we're not going to ask Ran about. You more hear for myself, I have to go ask people about you. No, ask you about people song, you know.
Bring it, come give
you see, from me play the song and me like it, me go play it, but you can't ask me, you know, because somebody else play it, me go play it.
In Kingston at the Mines and Geology Department, and Friday I'll make sure I bring the music to you at IRFM. I'll make it my duty.
To the operator. I give Shamara forgive me, yeah?
All right, sir.
All right, yes. Me like the words them. Man, I talk about France and Germany and all them places. What am I talking about? And them still attack to you after I tell you all right until they attack. I'll bet me stop playing the tune I'm supposed to play. I'll start it over here now.
Yeah, Muta, greetings.
Eh?
Greetings, sir.
Blessed man.
Yes, sir. I didn't want to talk to you about this thing a good look a while now. I haven't been listening for a while, honestly. So I don't know what your update is with the whole Monsanto and the renaming thing.
The whole what?
Monsanto with them change them name?
Monsanto?
Yeah.
But them change them name to Monsanto to what?
Bayer.
Oh, Bayer, B-A-Y-E-R. Yeah, that company, they integrate with it.
Yeah, what them really do from what me hear is that them actually buy Bayer.
Yeah, it's like how Amazon buy Whole Foods.
Yeah. So to me, what they come like say is like say too much heat upon them, I know, and they actually been sued recently.
Yeah, them so get a $50 million lawsuit on them.
So what them do, them change the name for continue do what them a do under wraps in a different name.
Yeah. But are the same beers we used to make? Not the same beers we used to make tablet, man.
By Monsanto, but the other way around, a Monsanto bought them.
No, but the same beers we used to make tablet and thing.
Yeah.
You remember 20 years ago? 20 years ago, Amazon they just sell book. Now them have the conglomerate Whole Foods, them control the whole of Whole Foods, you know. Yeah, so man, we hear about that, man. We hear about it loud and clear.
Yeah, man. They want to touch the subject still.
Yeah.
But respect, sir.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, man. Yes, EL.
Muta.
Blessed.
Rastafari blessings.
You have to talk a little louder, though.
Yes, sir. I say Rastafari blessings.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know. Yeah, Harry.
Yeah, man. I want to say it's been about 10 years now. I dedicate my attention to listen to the eye every Wednesday night and most time when I can on a Thursday because most of them time I'm there work. I want to know say I have been learning so much through the eye program, and one of the things where I really love what you do is that in most of your programs on Wednesday night, I hear the eye, I repeat most of the things them when I hear from 10 years ago, so that ones who never hear.
Yeah, then that you have to do, man. Look, it's a book, you know.
Yes, sir.
It's a record, you know. So we have to play it again and again and again.
Give thanks, man.
Make it so keen, you know.
As I say, me at 32 years old, about 15 years now I listen to the eye still, but I know that for 10 years straight, I just dedicate me attention to
Wednesdays,
Wednesday night because
yeah, man, give thanks to that.
It's just a reservoir of knowledge, and we just learn a whole heap about it, and we give thanks.
Yeah, man, give thanks, Bridget.
Blessed King.
Yes. EL.
Yeah, Muta,
blessed.
Yes, I hear you talking multiple times about you going to Africa with the pulse and then to catch malaria. Did you take the malaria vaccination?
Wait, say it again.
I mean, you mentioned many times that you went out to the pulse and they catch malaria. Did you take the malaria vaccination yourself?
No, we never. No, flow that, you know, from them time, they know. But it's not a vaccination, it's tablet. And when you take the yellow
vaccination for it, have you ever taken a vaccination?
Vaccination for malaria? No, I never take vaccination for malaria yet. Because when I tell you, say, them usually have vaccination for yellow fever. And the malaria is the tablet.
Hello?
You know, hear me I say?
Hello?
You hear me I say?
Yeah, you said what now?
I say that you usually take the vaccination for yellow fever and then you take the tablet for the malaria. I don't know about that. I guess them have vaccination for malaria, but I don't know nobody will take vaccination for malaria.
I know so. Anytime you go to Africa, you don't never take no vaccination. They don't say they don't advertise that you can take the malaria vaccination when you go over there.
No, I mean never. I don't understand. I just tell you, say them have tablet for the malaria.
Okay. Oh, so you take the tablet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And in regards to vaccinating your children, have you subscribe to that or no?
No, I never do that. But I mean, I'm not against it 100% still, you know. If a man want to do that, it's free. But you see, which part of me they know when my people them I live, it never ever come in my mind, you know.
Oh, I'm just trying to get different perspectives to see what other people doing to see what they do about my children. Yeah.
Watch out, I have not against vaccination, you know. I can tell you something.
Yeah.
You say this. All right, you see some people now, I can tell you how this thing go now, because me know the whole heap of this and that, you know. You see, I know a whole heap of people say them not take the malaria tablet. No, I got Africa, so much time I got Africa. It's not everywhere in Africa you go, you need to take malaria tablet, you know. Because when you go South Africa, and them places, you don't take no malaria, but you know, I never hear nobody dead because them take the malaria tablet yet.
Yeah, but I hear
them dead because them don't take it.
For your brain.
No, wait, Bridget, listen to me, I say no.
Yeah.
I hear people dead from malaria because them never take the malaria tablet.
Right.
And up to now, I don't hear nobody dead because them take the malaria tablet.
Okay, so
and my brethren them don't Ghana. I go down there and see them have malaria and them say, sure. I mean, I say, not take malaria like cold, and them just take, them have a tablet to them take, and it just gone. So I say to you now, I have no inhibitions to take the tablet if I feel, say, I am going to a place where I will catch malaria. Because I never hear nobody take, after all I go to Africa, all the brethren them who go to Africa and come back to Jamaica, I see them take the tablet. I don't see none happen to them, but I know brethren who go to Africa and don't take the tablet and dead.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, so I take sleeper mark dead. All right?
Okay.
All right, blessed man.
Yeah, good talk.
Yes.
If I could walk over England, the way man walk over Africa, I wouldn't do such things, for I'm not a racist. So you don't.
No, the problem with that thing, too, you see, if Trump get up one day and say, look here, everybody will come to America, have to go take tablet, you know. Sir, if you go get your visa, you have to go take a tablet. All right. And argument done. And people must stop talking about Africa like it's a country, you know. Africa is a continent with 50 different countries. So it's not everywhere you go have malaria and what them call yellow fever and them something there. Because you have place, look at the other day, people are come from America with measles. You have place in India where malaria they wild, you know, in a South America and them places. So we must stop, make it sound like say, anytime you go to Africa, you have to go take tablet. No go so. It depends on where you're going. And you have other things can take that you don't have to take the tablet. But you have certain countries in Africa, if you don't show them that yellow card there, with that yellow fever thing, if you don't show that yellow card, them not allow you to get out of the country. I tell you that. So you know, so you're not going to hear them tune up on another radio station. Because when some people are playing dub, something different them are play. This we know as dub, you know. This we know as dub. We don't know about nobody else, but Augustus Pablo and King Tubby's and the man we know as dub, like all the tune, you know. If Africa not free, we're not go free. And what they don't tell you, say, one man free is not the aim and the objective. If one man free and the others are not free, no man can choose say that he's free. And my Virgin Lucky Dube, who passed, we say, him call him band slave. And when them ask him, why him call him band slave, him say, we are all slaves until Africa is free. Serious thing. Yeah, good night.
Mutabaruka.
Yes, sir.
Mansa Muta is a call you.
I just come out. Blessed man, hello.
Blessed man. Why you piece of African glory? You to get Syria, Buju Bantan, Shena Park. You remember it too long. You remember. Hey, Mota. Mota.
Virgin, you say Muta, you don't say nothing else, you know. I'm gone. All right. Time, you know, give thanks to the moment and the time and the energy, you know. We still have to take calls still, you know, but you see if no caller come, it don't matter because yeah, so we start out with some brand new reggae music. Then we drop some Afrobeat, African reggae. We are getting the dub, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Mota.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, let me lose my signal a while ago, man.
Yeah, you lose it, that's true. So you have to talk louder, though. What you saying at the parking lot?
Yeah, man, after Buju show, man.
You talk about, man. You talk about Buju show, I must remember that.
Mota, man. Usually in paid you to come in the parking lot to get see. That's so much CD you get a Buju show, Mota.
So what am where I say?
Oh, me I tell you something, why you play a piece of African glory after it.
You want me? Where say you want me do?
When you play the African glory tune after the CD, Mota.
You mean African glory by Buju Bantan?
No, me sing African glory, me give the CD a Buju show.
Yeah. You give me a tune named African Glory at the Buju show.
Yes, sir.
And you want me to play it now? Really, you come a Buju show for check me?
Well, that was one of the missions, sir.
What?
Yes, sir. I only if I want to spend on Buju.
No, hold on. You come a Buju show for check me if you give me a CD?
That the funny agenda to Musa. And that's time I come to Buju show, me come now with the mind that
No, well, you want to know. But I ask you a question. You pay going to Buju show?
Yeah, man, VIP, man.
Then you want to know. You have to go pay me, you know. Because you pay Buju. Wait a minute, how you mean? You have to give, how much you pay for go a VIP? No, about how much you pay for go a VIP?
180 US.
Then Buju get money from you and me not get no money from you. And the two where you come for come see.
Because you have too much woman there.
Then what the woman have to do with it? No woman have, the Buju never, look how much woman did I look on Buju. The amount of woman with that look on Buju never look. Brethren, I don't care if they take picture with me or not. When I try to show you, say, you pay for go see Buju and you come for come see me and you don't pay me. So when you go get my own. And you know you come request through what you do.
Anytime you see me again, man.
Anytime you see me again, you go do what?
No give money, Mota.
You give me the money where you pay for going to Buju show. How much money you pay for going to Buju show?
180 US.
Oh, yes. A big boy me I talk to. Musa, you pay $180 for go to US. That's how much? That's about 20,000. But about $20,000 that. No, me never say, no, every little make a muckle. Not tell me about a little bit of money for me. Of course, every little make a muckle. One cocoa full back. So you want to know. So when you see me, you're going to give me. Which part you going to see me do? Oh, I forgot wait till I do outside thing. When I do outside thing tomorrow in the car park, I know, so you can't come bring it.
Now one more thing I'm going to ask you, Muta.
What that?
Running African show, we can't get the start to Cabo. Running African have a book club scene. It's enough for them book them out. Enough time I try to get them in the audio form to visually hear that. Enough for them African book there. Them now them in an audio form. So I say if they them could arrange the time even one time a week to do a book reading for the station.
No, well, you know, you have to talk to Cabo about that, you know, because me not join the book club. Oh, no, they don't call the radio station, man, and tell them, man, you tell me if you go just organize a book club. Me not a book club, Rasta. No, listen to me, I tell you, man, I'm absent to me, I tell you, man. Me say, call the operator when Cabo up on the radio and tell the operator where you want she do. Don't tell me, say me and she must do it, because I'm not into no book club. See, my club is so right just now.
All right, sir.
All right, sir. So, me going to have a show in the parking lot of RFM tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, $180 for coming.
All right, sir.
All right, sir. Give thanks.
You're going to sing a tune. You're going to sing on your tune now.
If me go sing, what you talk about? When you see me about you show me that sing?
I hear the tune, so I am the man you love.
No, me ask you, when you see me about boss, when you see me about you show me that sing?
No, sir, you know that sing.
All right, well you want to Buju sing for you, but me not to sing for you. So you tell me, say me just give you all the anyway, I gone, me lay out that foolishness in the morning. Yeah. Me gone.
All right.
Yes, all right. This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM, as we say. We give thanks to the moment and the time and the energy. We don't know what coming and now we expect matrix, you know, but from the other day, they might trick me and I bring in a whole heap of different people. So me I go wait diligently. We still have a whole heap of time left. We can still take some more call. The operator sitting out there and looking at space. We want you look Vita, you know. Yeah, we want you look Vita. You give me the right thing today, you know, hey, Vita. You go down and sleep. Maybe your lady not sleep. You give me the right juice a while ago, you know. You see what me tell you, say, I want cane juice and ginger. I want ginger and cane juice. Yeah. Me don't want you go on like say you're afraid to put the ginger in there. You understand? So anytime you say I want cane juice with ginger, just remember I say it's ginger I really want with the cane juice. So when I put it in my mouth, I must feel like the world stop. You understand? So it tastes nice, the right way you put it this time, yeah. The ginger with the cane juice. See? So when I taste it, I taste the ginger. Some people can't take that, but some me like it. Enough ginger. Understand? Alright, so we give thanks to Vita for do the right thing today and give me the ginger with the cane juice rather than cane juice with ginger. Dubwise again. Mona and her brethren sit down the whole night to do from the entertainment buzz. She there with the brethren name. What the brethren name? Sticker Fire. Oh yeah, me just remember saying it said Sticker Fire. You have to change that name. You have to change that name. Them sit down the whole time with me, you know, and listen to Cutting Edge live, me I tell you. Oh, she said today your birthday, you say Earth Day. Eh?
June 6th.
Yeah, June 6th. Okay. All right. Matrix in the house. Hey, Matrix, you know, the friend them are surprised me with some very strange people are coming here, you know. I mean, see you come. One brother coming and saying, Teddy one night, coming here, you know. So weird, where you come from? Come usually hear him on the outside broadcast, you know, but we never see him. So I say, wait, which part Matrix there? And then last week, you and and Shane coming at the same time. So me I look for say what gonna happen now if Andrew go come in there. Come to the truth tonight. Can't feel surprise me again. But I tell you, that's a weird. I wonder if any skill going to take over the program after me, you know. Yeah, so we are telling you a little more from this today with the stepping razor.